Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tech Day 2022. Some of you I just saw earlier in that great Bucks Plus session. Definitely got some ideas that I plan to use in my courses. And for those of you who are just joining us for Tech Day, we are doing a promotion for fundraising through the foundation. So you'll see here on this slide, 3 of the initiatives that we're focusing on for this Tech Day event include the Buck Student Emergency Fund, the Food Assistance Initiative, and scholarships. Of course, all 3 benefiting our students always, but especially during these trying times. So please give a donation a consideration. We have a lot of options for donating, different types of payment methods, and you can find all of that information on the Bucks Foundation website. So as people kind of roll in here, I'm going to leave this slide up and then we'll get started around 10:30.
Jackie, I think I've admitted mostly everyone that from the pop-up.
Okay, thanks, Susan. We can give a couple more minutes.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what time it is. I'll look on my computer.
All right, hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to Tech Day 2022. I have shared with you here a PowerPoint slide with some information about some fundraising efforts through the foundation. Some of you already heard me chat about this, but you can see the 3 initiatives specifically targeted for our fundraising events today, fundraising focus today, as well as the link to the foundation website. Also, if you go to the Bucks website and search foundation, you can get to that webpage where you can make a donation to support these causes. Today, we have Susan Darlington, Associate Dean, Bucks Online, to chat with us about adult students. So take it away, Susan. If anyone has any technical questions, please feel free to send me a message in the chat.
Thank you, Jackie. Just going to share my screen here. Whoops, I'm still admitting people. Okay, I assume everyone can see my screen. So hello, everyone, and welcome to Understanding Our Adult Students, a Workplace Perspective. As Jackie mentioned, I'm Susan Darlington, the Associate Dean of Bucks Online. So this morning, we'll look at the current workplace learning landscape and review some of the demographics on adult learners in Bucks County. We'll go over the characteristics of our adult learners and some teaching strategies using technologies that you can address those adult learner characteristics. And hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A. So let's take a look at the workplace learning landscape. So just as we in higher education had to shift to a more remote digital approach since the pandemic, so have corporations in their workplace training efforts. Many employers are investing in professional development at a much greater rate than the prior to the pandemic due to the massive shortage of workers. We've all heard about the Great Resignation. Employers are competing to attract and retain employees in what's being called as a war on talent. So with so many working remote now, employers can look beyond that typical local recruiting pool. The huge increase in remote workers has made it necessary to provide digital learning experiences for employees. It's cost effective, no more traveling to the corporate office for training. Skills outcomes are more easily documented in a digital system. And now employees are able to learn from colleagues around the world, not just in our own office. So that's causing a shift from that formal, highly structured corporate university to a more informal, continuous, lifelong learning that focuses on the employee's career journey and what resonates with them as an individual. So the type of learning is captured by learning experience platforms, or LXPs. They're a robust version of our LMS like Canvas. They collect data on employee learning, some of which are in the form of digital credentialing. So regarding Bucks County, 71% of the Bucks population is 25 and older, with a median age of close to 44 years old. They work in a variety of companies, including pharmaceutical, healthcare, education, and other businesses. And we see ourselves down here. And so what do they do there? At these organizations, they perform office administrative support, sales, healthcare, food service, management, to name a few. And the national average is over here. Finally, what motivates them? Per Wiley Education's 2021 survey of online college students, 4 of the top 5 student motivators for earning a degree are related to their job. So a salary increase within their current position, getting their first professional job, to better their job perspectives, to advance their career and get a promotion, and to achieve personal growth. So we hope that our students are looking to us to achieve those personal goals. So we're going to have a little check activity on prior knowledge of adult learning using a technology called Mentimeter. And you probably may have used these before in your classrooms. So Mentimeter came in number 14 out of the top 150 tools for workplace learning. So you're going to need your phone, and you can enter a nickname or a fake name if you want to play anonymously. Adult learners enjoy gamification learning because it provides a safe space for trial and error. So I'm going to pause my share here and get my screen that I want to use. Okay, so you want to go to www.menti.com. Oops, my connection was lost. Oh, Jackie and I were just discussing how we're home because of the snow and we might have connection issues.
Susan, I could get in at least with that code up at the top, but it
Oh,
does say wait for the presenter to activate the quiz. So I'm halfway there.
Okay, yeah, and you can see that the connection is lost.
Sure.
Oh.
Maybe stop and refresh. That's my
Yeah, that's what I'm
brilliant tech
thinking.
tip.
Yeah, was having trouble finding that site. So let me log in again. Oh, I can't access it at all. I'm connected and secured, so. Okay, well, we'll do it later. Well, I'll try it again later to see if we can access it. Let me get back to our presentation. I'm sharing my screen again. Okay. So that was going to be a prior knowledge check on adult learners and what we know about them, but maybe we'll try that later. I'd like to see if most people haven't looked at Mentimeter or have used it. It's kind of a neat game that I'd like you to at least see. So if we have time at the end, we'll try it. Okay, so again, we'll take a look at some adult learner characteristics. So meet Michelle and Matt. Michelle is a supervisor in customer support and has 20 years of experience. Matt is a product technical specialist with 5 years of experience. And we're going to find out what they need as adult learners. So adult learners prefer to take responsibility or control of their learning. So Michelle needs to have multiple options for her learning control and develop a peer relationship with her instructor instead of an instructor-student relationship. Adult learners need information that can be immediately applicable to their work. They resent theory. So Matt needs to be in a program that's personalized, that will help him directly with his professional job. Maybe a program that includes coaching. Adult learners are more resistant to change. So Michelle needs to know the why behind the change. Adult learners tend to link their past experiences. So Matt needs to be in a class with adults that have similar life experiences for discussion and sharing and creating a learning community. And so cohort models actually work really well for adults. Adult learners are highly motivated by personal choice. And so they're not going to school because mom and dad are making them go. It's a personal choice for them to improve their job skills, to achieve personal and professional growth. So as we learned earlier, the top reason to earn a degree was for personal growth. So Matt needs thought-provoking materials and practical learning experience that help him to achieve those goals. Adult learners have a lot to juggle: family, friends, work, and the need for some personal quality time. So it's more difficult for adults to make time for learning. So Michelle needs a flexible learning program for her that includes less hours sitting in a classroom, more time to self-learn using videos and readings at her own time, on her own time, at her own convenience. And adult learners have high expectations. So they want to be taught things that are going to be useful to their work, have immediate results, worth their while, and not be a waste of time or money. So Michelle needs to know what's in it for her. Why am I here? How long is it going to take? And how will it help me? So let's talk about some strategies that we can use. So before we start that though, I know we've heard a lot about authentic assessments over time, but I can't stress the importance of creating your assignments using real world situations. Think about asking your students to identify a problem at work or a skill that they would like to improve upon. Or ask their manager if there's a problem that they would like to have help resolving. For healthcare students, how to talk to patients about a serious illness. For education students, how to communicate to parents about an incident that occurred in the classroom. And for business students, how to improve the help desk customer satisfaction. So it goes back to control, and the adult students want what they want for their learning and practical knowledge that will help them improve or change their career. So the top 150 tools for workplace learning, as you can see, we are using a few of them already. We're using Zoom now, Microsoft Teams, a lot of Microsoft products here, PowerPoint, Word, Excel. I move our pictures around here. We were trying to use Mentimeter. So these are the top tools that our employees are using, our adult students are using in workplace learning. So according to the Workplace Landscape Report, the development of sales and customer service skills were a theme across industries, a required skill that needs to be developed. So a high priority is being placed on developing learning experiences that helped employees understand how best to serve their clients to help their business grow. So using Zoom technology, we're going to have a role-playing activity, also known as situational learning. And I have a prepared script. So I just need 2 volunteers to read the script, and then we'll share our thoughts. So I'll provide the script. And so no one has to make anything up because I have provided the script, but I do need 2 volunteers. A volunteer to be a customer and a volunteer to be a product technical specialist.
I'll volunteer to be a customer if you want.
Okay, is that Michelle?
Yes.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
my video's not working.
Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. I just,
Sorry.
there's so many people on, I wasn't sure. Okay. So Michelle is going to be our customer. So Michelle, the customer, you're receiving an error message when entering data.
Okay.
An upgrade was performed by the company the prior day. So, and you need to enter your data by the end of the day. So you're not happy.
That sounds familiar.
And so who wants to be our product technical specialist?
I will do that.
Oh, is that Bruce? Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
Okay, so go ahead. Product technical specialist goes first.
Okay. Hello. How can I help you?
I was on the phone with your help center and they could not help me. They referred me to a product technical specialist. I'm trying to enter data into the upgraded tax. I can't see 10.
Should I make it larger?
Please.
Yes.
I'm trying to enter data in the upgraded tax T120 form and I'm receiving an error message.
Okay. What is that error message?
I'm not sure. It flashed by too quickly on my screen. Something about data not compatible with field. I need to get this data entered by the end of the day. It's 3 p.m. and I need this by 5 p.m.
I will need to get the exact error message in order to assist you.
Again, I can't give you the exact message. This worked fine until you perform the upgrade.
Okay. Let me try to recreate the error message in my system. I will get back to you.
At what time can I expect you to get back to me?
I'm not sure. It all depends on how quickly I can coordinate with the product development department.
I will need you to get back to me within 2 hours.
I will do my best.
Great job, Michelle and Bruce. So Michelle was obviously an unhappy customer. So how do you think Bruce did with helping Michelle?
I did terrible.
I mean, I feel like seemed very general. It seemed like a robot could say that.
Yeah, so Bruce was not really hearing how urgent. He wasn't hearing the urgency, I felt. And he never apologized or empathized.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it wasn't Bruce's fault that the system was updated the day before, as a customer service support person, you still have to apologize and empathize and, just, kind of calm the customer down. And Bruce wasn't able to calm the customer down.
I don't think the person even tried.
No, but this is very common, as
That's
we
true,
know
you're
from
right,
being on the phone. So that's why it's a top priority for
Yeah.
corporations to get these people trained on how customer service is everything. And we use customer service every day. You guys are my customers. So we all in every industry, I think, need, some customer service skills, or taking a look at how we treat our customers and what is the best way to treat our customers, which in our case, in the college as a whole, are our students. So I think Bucks, I always see everyone being so nice to each other. So I don't think it's a huge problem here, but it is in other industries, and where people are tired. And, let's face it, product technical specialist is probably not the most fun job. So thank you. So that was doing a role playing on Zoom. So it's, you're not in the classroom, but it's using a technology. Okay, so let's go back to our presentation. So now we're going to work on Canvas ePortfolios. So I love ePortfolios. They allow students to reflect on their work and think about the progress of their learning, allows them to connect content across all courses and time, because you don't always put coursework in your ePortfolio. Students can plan their academic pathway as they come to understand what they know, what they need to know, what they still need to learn. And in its simplest form, it's really a repository to keep track of everything that you're doing. So, and I think most importantly, the ePortfolios are a showcase, way to showcase their achievements to colleagues and future employers. In fact, there's some certification programs like instructional design where you have to have an ePortfolio to be considered for the job. So let me demonstrate how ePortfolios can be created in Canvas. Pause our sharing again. Okay, so we're in Canvas, and so the ePortfolio, it's up here where the up here where your account is, because it's not specific to any one course, which is great because you can use it and add information for all of your courses. So you would go up here, or have your students go up to their account and click ePortfolios. And then the button for, there's two options here to create an ePortfolio. A little bit of a blurb about, what they're like and why they're important. And then you'll want to name your ePortfolio. You don't need to make it public. It will create a link so that you can share it with people. So you don't want to make it public. And students can share that link with employers. They don't need to make it public for employers to view it. So I always like to use a wizard. There's a reason there's a wizard, and I'm not a wizard, so I usually select the getting started wizard. So down here, part of the wizard is there's a little bit of a training and Q&A here for each of the sections and how to use that. So that's nice, but you can close that out if you want to. So now you can just, it'll create a page here, a welcome page. So you'll click on the welcome. And it says nothing's entered yet. That's fine. You want to edit the page, and the name of the page, I'll keep it as welcome. And then the student will just want to say, oops. And then save your page. And so over here, you can have sections. So you'll want to have a section for your coursework. and then maybe a section for your volunteer activities. And a section for your work experience. And anything else you want a section for, maybe you're involved in the Bucks County Community College clubs and sports and can add any of that information there. So that's just really, you know, the start. You can add a picture, which I probably should have done here. I can edit this page. And over here, I can import an image. Then you have to select and upload the file before you go down here and save it. And then save your page. Sorry about the big giant image of myself. So that is how to create a portfolio, at least getting started on creating a portfolio that your students can use. So what I did though in Canvas, in my Canvas course, Understanding Our Adult Students, I created a little course for this training. Oh, there's 5 chats. You say, I'm not sure what that one is. Oh, the our oh, thanks you guys for. Yeah, Stacy, I'm sure they can upload videos. There's an option there for links to things. So you should be good with that. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jackie, for answering that question. Okay. So here's let's go to modules. So adult learners also, they learn slowly, but deeply. So anytime you want to introduce a new technology, you want to do it in chunks. So for creating a portfolio, this is a project for the entire, that will go on through the entire length of the course. So I created an assignment to create a portfolio where, you know, the first week, they're just going to read 3 reasons why you need a digital portfolio, and then they'll post to the discussion board. Then in week 2, they'll read, how do I create an ePortfolio as a student in Canvas, which, you know, Canvas has really great videos on how to do things. Then they'll post to the discussion board about how they plan on creating their ePortfolio. Then it's great to provide samples of ePortfolios. Let's see, I'll look at this one here. Oh, no, there goes my internet. So anyway, it's good to have a sample, and you can search Canvas. You want to use the Canvas. There's a lot of samples of ePortfolios because some colleges actually have their own ePortfolio systems. So you want to search for Canvas ePortfolio so that all of the options that they have for creating their ePortfolio are similar. There's different ePortfolio systems that have a range of options, and you want to have them look at one that's doable for them. Okay. Then they'll create an outline for their ePortfolio. You never just want to start doing something on a computer visually. You want to always do a storyboard or something on paper that allows you to kind of look at it before you actually start entering and typing. You don't have to redo work that way typically. Then they'll create a welcome page in another week. Then the following week, create sections. So just do it very slowly. And in the end, hopefully they'll have a really great ePortfolio. So let me see. I think that's all I wanted to cover about that. Are there any questions about either the role playing or using Zoom or the creating the ePortfolio? Again, it's just one assignment, and this way the students, they'll have their ePortfolio for this course, but they can then use it for other courses. You know, encourage them to continue to use it and continue to enter their content. And that way, by the time they graduate, they'll have a whole ePortfolio of everything they've done. And it helps them with their resume. It helps them develop their resume. It lets you remember what all you've done. Oftentimes we do a lot of things and we don't keep track of them, and we forget. Okay, so no questions. I see something in the chat. Yes, so it creates a link. The ePortfolio here creates a link that you could link to your LinkedIn profile. Okay. Let's see, so let's go back to our PowerPoint. So the next thing we're going to cover is Microsoft Office products. So some of the best technologies to incorporate in your assignments are the common and easy to use technologies, such as the Microsoft Office suite of tools, which aren't always easy to use. Some of us struggle with ones like Excel, which can be very, very complicated. It's very robust. So, but some of our students are already using these tools on their jobs. And some of them will need to use these tools to get a promotion or to change their career or to, get their first job. So in Word, they have some really great options for templates if they're creating, a special report. In PowerPoint, there's some really nice themes that in Excel, they can create charts and graphs. In Forms, they can create a survey for their family, friends, or colleagues. And in Teams, you can work together. So I'm going to go to Office 365. So, and I think there was a session already on Office 365. I don't know whether it's this afternoon or I think it was this morning.
It was this morning.
Okay. So I'm in here all day. I use these options here to get to my email. I don't use the client Outlook email. I just go here. But if you go down here to all apps, which you probably learned this morning, you'll get to see all of the different apps. So the first one I want to look at are Teams. So Teams, it's not meant to take away from your Canvas course, but since it's very heavily used in the corporate environment, you might want to introduce your students to using Teams as maybe just one of their assignments. So we'll go to Teams here. And so I have a Bucks Online team. We haven't really done anything with it yet, and we're not sure we will. I just kind of was playing around with it. But Market Analysis Project is another team I created. So they're very easy to create over here in the upper left, create team. It asks you for the name and you're pretty much done. So I'll click on the Market Analysis Project. So this is an assignment that I made in Canvas for the class. And so the students are able to post. They're able to post files and look at files. So I had added a file here for, they're going to be creating a marketing analysis report. So it's really nice, those Word templates that actually show you how to create a report and what is all included typically in a marketing analysis report. So that gives them, just a really good head start, because if you're going to ask them to create a marketing analysis report, they probably would have no idea what that is supposed to look like. And you can also, over here, you can meet via video with your students. So that's a nice option there. So I know a lot of people at work, they use Teams, all the time to communicate. So just something that you can provide for your students that will get them familiar with that, so that they're, know a little bit of a heads up when they get their first job. So let's go to back to Canvas, and I create, just to show you how I created a module and an assignment surrounding this market analysis project. So I'll click on week 1 there. So they're going to be taking the Bucks company and selling a variety of products. They're going to pick a product to perform market analysis on. They're going to be using Microsoft Teams to share everything that they found. Then they're going to be performing an industry and marketing analysis using Excel. And then they're going to be creating a survey to identify a target market using forms, which is that survey. Then they're going to be creating that market analysis report using Word. And then they'll be presenting their findings using PowerPoint. So we're using many of the Microsoft Office products to help them do this. So I provided a how to write a market analysis, how to use Microsoft Teams, just to start off on week 1. Week 2, they're going to be using Excel. And so there's a video for your ultimate guide to market research and how to conduct it like a pro, and then how to use Excel to do a market analysis. Then week 3 is using the forms. So how to identify your target market with an online survey platform, and then create a survey using Microsoft Forms. And then they're sharing all of these with their students, with the other students in the class, in the chat area. And also they're submitting that Excel spreadsheet for point value. So everything they're doing, they're sharing there in Microsoft Teams, but then submitting it to you, the instructor, for points. And the instructor obviously goes into Teams and, you know, reviews what they're chatting about and whatnot. And then week 4 is that actual market analysis using that Word document, obviously worth a lot more points. And they use that, the template there to create that form. And then finally, in week 5, they have tips for creating and delivering an effective presentation. So they're going to be using PowerPoint to do that. They'll post the PowerPoint to Teams chat, but they will be prepared to present their PowerPoint presentation via Zoom. Any questions on that? Okay. So this is a very busy screen, but I really liked this graphic because it took all of these tools and kind of put them together in, you know, these are the tools for discovery. And I know this is difficult to see. If you get a copy of the PowerPoint, you can zoom in on it then, but these are all of the different tools that we use for discovery. Google and TED and YouTube. These are the tools for social networking. We use Slack here a lot, LinkedIn, Twitter, Zoom, and a lot of them overlap. You know, tools can be used for a multitude of purposes. So you can use tools for doing, note-taking, file sharing, and emailing, but some of them are also used for presentations and tasks driven. Okay. These are the sources that I used for the presentation, and there's some time for Q&A. I would like to try to go back to Mentimeter though, but let's see if there's any Q&A questions, maybe about the environment that our students are coming from in the workplace. When I was doing that research, and I come from the corporate world, I was a computer programmer, business consultant, going around the country, and an instructional designer. So I have a lot of experience there. And my experience with training in the corporate world was, it was the first thing that was cut when times were tough. So I think now, because there's digital learning, employees are kind of learning on their own a little bit more instead of that formal training. So it is easier for companies to say, okay, you know, you can do that quick training, or they purchase LinkedIn Learning for their, you know, for the whole company so that employees can learn a little bit. But I still feel that they need us because companies are only going to train you on what you need to do for that job, and anything that you can help with them to improve their business or impact the bottom line. So any other learning that employees want to do that doesn't relate to that, they're not going to get it in the corporate world.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do you have any advice or insight into how to better integrate adult students into classes that are largely made up of our traditional younger students? So
Yeah, I was one of those. So, you know, the adults have a lot more experience, and I would play upon the experience that they have, and kind of recognize that they are, they just come with a whole host of background, and that can be really helpful to the other students in the class. So, you know, maybe not always highlight that adult student, but, you know, I always kind of felt good as an adult student. And I would look around and at the younger students and think, well, you know, I definitely know more than you. And I think that their experience in the workforce can really help with, you know, you can go to them and ask what their experiences are and ask them to share their experiences in certain jobs and situations and how they handled it, and kind of spotlight them.
So I have done exactly what you say, and I love having adult students in the class for all the reasons we've been talking about. It's more about the younger students who like roll their eyes up in their head, because oftentimes the adult student is one of those that participates more frequently. You know, they're an asset in the class as far as I'm concerned, but the younger students at times, you know, are dismissive.
They are.
And part of my challenge is trying to, one, make everyone comfortable in the class, and two, I agree with you, the older students have a lot to offer. But younger students are not necessarily respectful. And oftentimes it's what's the word? It's like yawning, you know, it's like it spreads.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, just if anyone had any suggestions.
Yeah, and especially, I'm going to stop sharing here, especially if there's only one adult student in the class. If there are a few, maybe you could put them in groups and have one adult student in each of the groups. But yeah, especially younger students today, I think are probably less respectful of older students. When I was young and a younger student, in my first job, you know, I came into a job just wanting to stop and listen and just learn everything that I could. But some of the younger people, and good for them, they have a lot of confidence, a lot more confidence than I had in my first job, but they do come in kind of, you know, thinking they know a lot, when actually they don't.
It is hard. It is hard to engage when you have a whole smattering of age groups and life experience in the subject matter. I think it's really hard, and where I teach, it's we have a lot of older students, and just picking up on what you said about confidence, even though they have experience, it's been my experience that they lack confidence. And so that leads to not persisting. And I just wanted to add, Bruce, I think you agreed with me, but I think part of my job is not just teaching the subject material. I think it's encouraging them. You got this. You can do this. Don't worry about anybody else. Just keep going.
Yeah, there's intimidation factors going on where some of the younger students might be intimidated by an older student who they think has a lot more experience, and vice versa. The older student might be intimidated by the younger student because they think they're more tech savvy, or they think their brain, you know, learns a lot quicker. So you do have that going on there. This is why I like the cohort model of learning, especially with adult students. They are all adults, they're all mature, they are there, just to work on that job skill that they need. And I think the cohort model works best for just the reasons that we're talking about.
And that
Does
used
everyone
to-
understand what the cohort model is? It's,
Yeah.
when they move together, all together, start together and take every class together. Diane has a comment, find shared experience or interests between students. Yeah, that's a good one, Diane, especially that first discussion board when you're, getting to know each other and ask them to talk about what their interests are, because maybe an adult has, a gaming interest that one of the younger students is a big gamer too. And then they have something to the relatable. Any other questions? Have a little bit of time. I don't know whether you wanted to try the Mentimeter again. It seems that
I have a question, Susan.
Yes.
How are we targeting bringing in these adult students? I mean, is that obviously that's an ongoing project and certainly a focus right now. How can we get into that market niche for this kind of adult education when we're competing with the LinkedIn or something like that?
I know, I'm not sure what our marketing department is doing as far as working towards adult students in trying to, target the adult students, but there are a lot of adult students in Bucks County. And, mostly everyone anymore is an adult student. So I think they are looking at ways to capture those adult students. I think we're looking at programs that adult students would be interested in. Diane Darling is working on an instructional design certification program that typically instructional design isn't something that you want to do right from college. It's something that you go out and work and you figure out, hey, I like helping people. I like creating training materials. So it is more of an adult learning type certificate. So I think what we're offering people is going to kind of try to attract that adult learner.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Two chats. Okay, I think I just missed those chats. Sorry. So I think my Mentimeter is working. So we have 5 minutes. Does anybody want to play Mentimeter? Okay, let me share my screen. So do you have anything on your screen? If you go to mentimeter.com.
I have question 1 of 3.
Yep,
Oh,
same
great.
here.
So I'll give you time to each get there and enter the code. I guess everyone, so all these you're each an animal there and a soccer ball. So I'll just wait a few more minutes, a few more seconds. So quickness matters. So you might have the correct answer, and especially after we already covered adult learning characteristics, but it's how quick you click the correct answer that also counts. Okay, so I am going to click, I'm going to enter. Okay, so you have 6 seconds, 5 seconds. You can also add music to this. Okay. Good job. So now we're going to go to the next. So we'll look at our leaderboard here. Ooh, very close race here. Looks like Jason's in the lead. Did you get your next question?
I did not.
Okay. Looks like some answers are coming in. Okay. That's actually my daughter from another game we were playing. So anyway, this is how it works. The winner gets the confetti flowing, and it looks like Jason was the winner there. Looks like we had a little bit of technical issues with that, so sorry about that. I'm going to stop sharing. And I thank you. It's 11:18. I thank you all for attending, and I hope you enjoy the snow and everyone stay safe.